What's up, book fam? Welcome to the Book Flash podcast. I'm Jeff, and I'm here with the amazing Lisa.
Hey, everyone! We're beyond excited to kick off our very first episode with you. This podcast is all about cutting through the clutter and bringing you the key insights from the best books out there in just 10 minutes. So whether you're on your commute, hitting the gym, or just need a quick break, we've got you covered.
And we're starting with a bang. Today, we're diving into The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This book isn't just another self-help read. It's a guide to living life on your terms. It's about choosing what really matters and letting go of the rest.
Exactly. Manson's approach is raw, real, and refreshingly honest. He's not here to tell you to be happy all the time. In fact, one of the first examples he gives is about the feedback loop from hell. You know, that nasty cycle where you feel bad about feeling bad and then you start stressing over the fact that you're stressed? It's exhausting.
Oh man, I've been there. Manson's point is that the more you resist these negative feelings, the more power they gain over you. He tells us to accept that life is full of problems and discomforts, and that's okay. It's about choosing the right problems to care about.
That's where the magic happens. He uses the example of a guy named Pete Best. Ever heard of him? Probably not. He was the original drummer for the Beatles, but he got kicked out right before they hit it big. Ouch, right?
Seriously. But here's the thing, instead of letting that ruin his life, Pete found peace with it. He ended up living a happy life, focusing on his family and other interests. Manson uses this story to show that even when things don't go as planned, it doesn't mean it's the end. Sometimes, what seems like a failure is actually a step towards something better.
It's such a powerful reminder that life isn't about never failing. It's about how you bounce back. And it's about redefining success. Pete Best might not have become a rock star, but he found fulfillment in his own way. That's a key point Manson drives home. Success is personal. It's not about living up to everyone else's expectations, but finding what truly matters to you.
Speaking of redefining success, Manson also talks about values, and this is where it gets really deep. He tells the story of Haru Onoda, a Japanese soldier who continued to fight in World War II for 30 years after it ended because he believed the war was still ongoing. It wasn't until 1974 that he finally surrendered.
That's wild! It's a perfect example of how our values can shape our lives for better or worse. Onoda's dedication was incredible, but it was based on a belief that was no longer true. Manson uses this to show that if we don't periodically reassess our values, we might end up stuck in situations that no longer serve us or even harm us.
And it's not just about having values, it's about having the right ones. Manson argues that a lot of us get caught up in caring about things that don't really matter, like fame, money, or what other people think. But when we shift our focus to values that truly bring us happiness and fulfillment, like honesty, creativity, and connection, everything changes.
That's why Manson talks about the importance of embracing pain as a part of growth. He tells the story of his friend who worked tirelessly to become an entrepreneur, only to fail repeatedly. But instead of giving up, his friend kept going because the value he placed on creating something of his own outweighed the pain of those failures. Eventually, he succeeded not because he avoided pain, but because he embraced it as part of the journey.
Another powerful example Manson shares is about the famous writer Charles Bukowski. Bukowski was a man who, by societal standards, was a failure for much of his life. He drank too much, couldn't hold a steady job, and wasn't particularly successful or well-liked. But here's the thing, he didn't care about any of that. What he did care about was writing, and he wrote with a raw, unfiltered style that eventually earned him a cult following.
Exactly. Bukowski didn't chase the traditional markers of success fame, money, respect. He simply wrote because that's what he loved to do. Manson uses Bukowski's story to emphasize that success isn't about ticking off boxes on society's checklist. It's about finding what you're passionate about and pursuing it, no matter what others think.
And that's what makes this book so empowering. Manson isn't telling us to give up on everything. He's telling us to be selective about what we give a fuck about. By focusing on the things that truly matter to us, we can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
Another great example Manson uses is the story of Dave Mustaine, the guitarist who was kicked out of Metallica just before the band became one of the biggest names in rock history. Most people would be devastated by such a blow, but Mustaine didn't let it define him. Instead, he went on to form his own band, Megadeth, which became hugely successful in its own right.
What's fascinating is that even with all his success, Mustaine still felt like a failure because he was comparing himself to Metallica. Manson uses this story to show that it's easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others, but doing so only leads to dissatisfaction. It's a reminder to focus on our own journey and to find success on our own terms.
That's such an important lesson, Jeff. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with images of other people's success, but Manson's message is clear. Stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on what truly matters to you. Success isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being the best version of yourself.
And as we wrap up this first episode, I think it's crucial to remember one of Manson's core messages. Life is short, and our energy is limited. We can't care about everything, and that's okay. The key is to figure out what truly matters to us, and to focus our time and energy on those things.
That's right. So, to all our listeners out there, take a moment today to reflect on what you're giving a fuck about. Are those things truly aligned with your values and goals? If not, it might be time to reassess and make some changes. After all, life's too short to waste on things that don't really matter.
We're just getting started here on the Book Flash podcast, and we're so excited to have you along for the ride. If you loved this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We've got so much more coming, your way, more books, more insights, and more motivation to help you live your best life.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember, it's not about giving up, it's about giving a fuck only about what truly matters. Until next time, stay focused, stay true to yourself, and keep crushing it.
Peace out, book lovers. Catch you next time on the Book Flash podcast. Stay cool, stay focused, and keep giving a fuck about the right things.